Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday, Rigathi Gachagwa had an interview on KTN, and there are serious allegations that he made, of which he's not the first person to talk about this issue. Very many things, but my focus is on the issue of fertilizer as of now. He made claims on how Russia and Algeria gave fertilizer, which was actually a donation to Kenyan farmers. Russia, 40,000 metric ton. Algeria, 30,000 metric ton, making it 70,000. That was a gift to the Kenyan government. And it was just supposed to go direct to the farmers as a gift. But what happened? We know how the fertilizer was blended, then taken back into cereal board by the government, then sold to farmers at 2,500 Kenyan shillings per 50 kg bag. Now, according to Gachagwa, this is what happened. When the government received the fertilizer, what they did, Ruto handed over the fertilizer to one of his friends, Narendra Naval. This is Delvic Group chairperson and the owner of Maisha Mineral and Fertilizer Limited. He's a friend. So what happened? This guy blended the fertilizer, then sold back to the government at the same price. The government normally import fertilizer from outside. But remember, this was a free donation given to the government. Now, a private entity, after blending, selling the same commodity at the very original price. Reason? They are in business. Now, one day I heard this guy saying that William Ruto should rule Kenya for at least 25 years. But first of all, anyway, listen to Rigathi Gachagwa as he makes these allegations.
President William Ruto was Minister for Agriculture during the Kibaki time. During Uhuru 1, that is the first 2-3 years, 2013 to 2016, Felix Kosgei, the head of public service, was the Minister for Agriculture. So when Mithika Linturi was appointed Minister of Agriculture, the President and Felix Kosgei were running the ministry. Mithika Linturi was just a flower girl in the ministry. And I can tell you, they wanted to fix him about fertilizer. All fertilizer is procured at State House. Yeah? The president determines to buy from who, at how much. It is the president who does that with Felix Kosgei. So when they were trying to fix Linturi, when they brought bad fertilizer, and I'll give you evidence, the one that you want, because I think this is important. A company called Maisha Minerals and Fertilizers Limited. This is Defki, who is a partner of the president. He is also into fertilizer, and he is the one who imported bad fertilizer. Okay. So when the report came from KEBS, saying this fertilizer is bad, President William Ruto ordered Linturi to allow the fertilizers to come in and forget about it. Then they wanted to arrest Linturi and take him to court for this fertilizer. It is here. And I told the president, you cannot do that. You know, Mithika Linturi is innocent. It is yourself and Felix Kosgei who are buying fertilizer in State House. In fact, as we speak today, I want to tell the Kenyan farmers, today there is no fertilizer and the long rains are here. Because fertilizer has not been prepared. Because it's the president himself who does it. He decides from who at what price. And this has taken time. Okay?
All right.
And again, finally, the Russian government gave us 40,000 metric tons of fertilizer.
The donation.
It was given to this man called Maisha Minerals by the president. And another 30,000 metric tons from Algeria given to the same man. They blended and sold it to government. A donation from Russia, a donation from Algeria was processed and sold to the Kenyan government at the same price that we were buying fertilizer from. And I would like you, now that I've told you, go and ask the Ministry of Agriculture, the fertilizer that came from Russia as a donation, which farmers were given free of charge? The ones that came from Algeria, which farmers were given free of charge? The president gave it to Maisha Millers, Defki, his friend, bladed, packed, and sold to the Kenya government. They pocketed billions of shillings. That is why we are saying what Muturi was saying, it is true. You know, the president would speak in cabinet. Mimi sitaki ufisadi katika serikali yangu. Na mimi, I will be merciless to anybody who is caught up in corruption. You know, people will just look at him because all the procurement in this government is done by William Ruto. In fact, in cabinet, behind the scenes, because nobody could speak openly except me and maybe Muturi, the president in cabinet, behind him, is known as the principal procurement officer of the Kenya government. All decisions are made in State House, in fact, even in affordable housing. All the contractors are decided in State House. In fact, let me tell you, these markets you are seeing.
As we finally.
Let me tell you, these markets you are seeing.
Okay.
They are being built with money from the housing levy because we are not able to absorb money for the housing levy. And that is illegal, of course, because the money was collected for housing, but it's doing the markets. Why the president cannot agree to give this function to the counties? You know, markets are a devolved function. It's because of the procurement aspect. He is the one procuring the people who build these markets. And then when he finishes building, he gives them to the counties. I want to challenge President William Ruto. If you are not involved in corruption, President, make a decision tomorrow. This money for markets, transfer it to the counties. Let them procure, let them supervise, let them open the markets. You have no business, Mr. President.
All right.
Like now when he was in Central Kenya opening markets, he's not interested in the end product.
Okay.
His interest in this market business is the procurement aspect. And that is why, despite the fact that markets are a devolved function, the president cannot let go because he is micromanaging the procurement of markets for his own gain. He is the one who negotiates with the contractors. In fact, why the president has no time to fix this country, he spends most of his time on procurement.
Well, now, Raila also made claims, which we'll look into, that the fertilizer that came in, they added the sand into it, then blended it, and brought back to the market at a very expensive price, because now it is no longer the original fertilizer. It has been corrupted. And now it is back in the market. The quality has been tampered with in the name of increasing the quantity. But then, the man at the center of this question, Maisha Mineral and Fertilizer Limited owner, Narendra Naval, at one point he said that President Ruto is one of the best presidents, who now Gachagwa is saying is his friend, and he should at least rule this country for 25 years.
He loves us so much, he loves this country so much, that especially myself, I have no words to say thank you to him. God gives him 100 years of life. I wish that we have this president for at least for 25 years. Mali angidi iko miaka mingi sana. So if we have this ichi tabadlisha. I don't know.
According to Raila Odinga, and which is true, the Kenyan farmers were supposed to receive the fertilizer from Russia and Algeria free of charge, just from serial board. If someone has given you something free to the government to help the people, just facilitate using taxpayers' money, because again, these people are still the taxpayers. They pay VAT, their pay slip, and very many other ways. We do pay taxes. So you are still using government money, which is still people's money, to facilitate transport. Then the issue of blending and bringing it back to the market. People are supposed to receive it free. But what happened? They were selling it corrupted. Yani ni ile mbolea ambayo imenajiswa. It is corrupted. It's no longer original. But we were buying it when we were supposed to receive it free of charge. So it is not only just Gachagwa speaking about this issue, Raila Odinga also talked about it.
Mambo ya mbolea, atumerudisha bei ya mbolea chini. Mbolea mmepewa bure na serikali ya Urusi. $34,000 tons bure. Unaongeza mchanga inakuwa 100,000 tons. Unasema tumerudisha bei chini. Unarudisha bei chini. Hadi sasa tumetoa 7,000 imekuwa 2,500. Pasi hawa wakulima bure, Matio tuma agawe kwa hawa wakulima. Hakuna haja ya wewe kuja na hiyo hapa chini na umepewa kama zawadi na unakuja kuuza hapa. Hiyo ni ungwana kweli? Hiyo ni ungwana kweli?
Now, I want us to conclude this discussion, but I have a quick request for those who are watching the channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. Now, beside all these allegations, there is one journalist who also did the investigation. And it was found out there was somewhere in a coast region where people were digging sand, exporting it in the name of fertilizer. There are farmers. Kwa nini Mithika Linturi was impeached at the first place, though Ruto stopped the impeachment? It confirms what Gachagwa is telling us. Because impeaching Gachagwa, it was going to expose William Ruto. Mithika Linturi, did I say Gachagwa? Sorry, Mithika Linturi. Mithika Linturi would have exposed what happened. You know, impeaching someone is like dealing with his life. Because staying away from public, that means you can't be employed and you can't vie for any political office for 10 years. It is set out that saved Mithika Linturi from the impeachment as CS for agriculture. The reason, it was the issue of sand and fertilizer. So Gachagwa has talked about the issue of procurement aspect versus development. In every project that Ruto will do, his intention and end goal is about gaining and making money. The commercial aspect of it. And that is your president. And I've been saying every time, anything that Ruto will do, the first question is, what is it in that thing for him as an individual? Personal interest supersede the people's interest or the country's interest. And that's the man you have in the State House as your president. So look at that. Today, I don't know what ODM will say. And if Raila Odinga will swallow his words, or he will accept or agree to what Gachagwa is talking about. Because Raila was blaming the government in terms of engaging in business on things that were supposed to just help the common mwananchi. So we are there. I leave you to make the judgment. So let us meet in the comment section to continue with this discussion. Thank you so much, and see you in our next video.